Yeah.
Yeah.
It's working fine now. It's just that far.
I'm ready.
Yeah, Nora's leaving. I'm just gonna get her food.
Okay.
Right?
I don't touch the red. So it's safe. You said there's sodas and stuff. Michelle doesn't do shit that's
Yeah.
对，我看终于2点了。
I actually dropped out and now I'm
Thank you so much.
Carla. Wow.
I'm in there. Let it go.
Yeah.
Maximize.
California still got
Okay, so make my video the largest. Can you? Can you see me? Need to be seen, not others. Yeah. Yes. What?
Yeah, why?
I'm so good. I saw your tag. I couldn't believe it. That you're rocking it.
No, it has to record my screen. Yeah. Yes. Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Get in touch.
Okay.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Yeah, we'll catch up.
It's all set.
Tell me when I can come up on it.
Maybe I put it up there.
I was gonna say, so you can catch the whole thing.
Yeah.
Chat.
Maybe on top of that thing.
Yeah, and then
Yeah. It's not gonna get everything.
Hello, guys. If I can have everyone's attention. Thank you guys for everyone coming out today. It's a beautiful day. Generally, I like to give speeches, but this one's very hard. So everyone that comes up to me and they ask me, how are you feeling? Are you okay? People that maybe don't know VG. And as I collect on it and I think about it, I'm blessed, and I feel bad for anyone that couldn't have met him because of the impact that he has on everyone's life. And anyone that has met him knows what I'm talking about. He has many students. As you all know, VG was a professor at the community college, but beyond that, he used it as a springboard for selfless acts of community service. I was lucky enough to meet VG in my life in a time that was very dark. And he showed me the light. And him and I became best friends, brothers. He's my guru. He's everything to me. The last thing I want to do is have this speech, but I'm glad we were able to celebrate this ceremony with him. He loved flowers. His favorite color was yellow and red. And I know he would have loved this. VG's favorite quote that he always told me was, "A man of unawareness reacts, and a man of awareness acts." And I never really knew what that meant. What that means in VG's world is too many people today don't live in the present moment. They don't enjoy what they have. They focus on the future and they focus on the past, and they leave behind what's the most beautiful part of the day, which is today. Let's not forget that. In his honor, he was my lion. He always said, "Be like a lion." If you notice, he has lions around here. He was very strong-hearted but kind, and he was one of the strongest men that I know. He loved his family very much, and that family wasn't just inclusive of blood relatives, but it was inclusive of his friends, his students, and his neighbors. I think it's a testament to who he is as a person, because he has so many students here right now. I know one student flew from California, is leaving back to California just to be with it. In the back wall, I found all kinds of writings that VG wrote. I would encourage everybody to read those. Those are all penned by himself. As some of you don't know, he was a meditation instructor, and he also took us to India a few times. I know some of the people I went to India with are here today, and he just loved to share and just be a great human being. Very smart guy. I knew him, and for the 2 years I knew him, I never even knew he had a PhD because he was so humble. He never wanted anyone to call him Dr. Gautam. He always wanted people to call him VG. He had 2 masters and a PhD, very educated man. I knew it because he was so smart. I just didn't know he had the credentials as a PhD, and that just is a testament to who he is as a person. He never wanted anything to be about himself. He always wanted everything to be about the people around him. He loved parties. He loved gardening. As you can see, his beautiful home over here was his meditation garden, his Zen garden that he created. And over here was his memorial garden. VG had a sister that passed away. I was there the night his sister passed away. I was there when his father passed away, and his mother passed away when VG was a child. But he leaves behind 2 nephews, one in Australia, one in India, and his brother-in-law, who is his sister's husband, that's in India as well. And I believe they're FaceTiming, watching this beautiful ceremony right now. I want to thank every single one of you guys for coming out today. And if you can just do me one favor, VG told me a week before he passed away, he said, "Be kind and don't criticize people. Never criticize people. Lift everybody up. Say one good thing about somebody, because if you say anything bad about somebody, it doesn't hurt them as much as it hurts you." And he was all about how you feel inside. So please don't criticize anybody. You don't know what that person's going through that day. Be nice to someone if they're mean to you. You might have a better result by being nice to someone who's mean to you than giving it right back to them. Dr. Cox is a president of the Cape Cod Community College and a very good friend of Dr. Gautam. Therefore, he's a very good friend of mine. And he went to India through VG, got to know him. I'd like Dr. Cox to say a few words. Thank you, Dr. Cox.
So if we look around and we see all the students here are graduates, I mean, it really says something about VG, the person, that so many of you would take the time, the effort, the expense to come back and share this moment. And it really means a lot for the folks at the college when we see this. And I think it says a lot of where we're heading moving forward. You know, Adam, you did say keep it short. but I have that old way here, you know, being the college president. I have my 5-page speech, but you know, I read the comments that VG was really worried about all the unfinished business that remained. And having had the opportunity to meet with him in late April and talk to him briefly, I understand what he was saying.
Brother.
And it also provided me the opportunity to reflect on my 9 years, having had the opportunity to know him and meeting many of his friends and his extended family. He motivated me in seeking to participate in the Fulbright Nehru program in 2014, which further set the pathway to return to India 6 months later to serve with the State Department on the US-India Higher Education Dialogue. And I attribute all that opportunity to an earlier conversation that I had with VG. I remember the 3 a.m. arrival in New Delhi with his extended family acting as the welcoming party at the airport. These opportunities that many of us have shared have extended VG's reach into the future. Let me share one piece in particular that might help paint this picture of how VG's encouragement can affect outcomes. And I think he would appreciate this example. He always had a good sense of humor.
Is a lawyer.
Seeing the need for toilets around many of India's schools to provide a degree of privacy and help retain attendance, we learned more about the Gates Foundation Reinvent the Toilet initiative and the winning technology piloted in India, which we've incorporated into our Science and Engineering Center as the first commercial application of this technology in North America that will hopefully extend a more affordable reach of this technology to others globally. The roots of this transformational project are part of the strength and the ongoing reach of VG. As I think of his economics courses, his Rotaract and Economics Club advising, and his leadership with the comparative economics class to Dubai and India, and his work to secure a very generous donation to offset our students' costs. I remember meeting the students in San Diego before the trip and how excited each person was. Remember that? I could peel you guys off the ceiling. And then seeing our students after that trip, knowing how their thinking and their outlook were forever changed. And VG enabled similar successes in Haiti and Nicaragua. We cannot lose VG's moment for such opportunities in our future.
I think we're getting the audio.
When I think back to John Wilson's commencement speech in 2017, he spoke about the unfinished symphony of life. For those living a life well lived, when we don't always understand the game plan, the schedule, the challenges to be faced as the lion, as the warrior, preparing for the ever-present opportunity, the symphony is unfinished. Business remains unfinished. We understand. As the purveyor of economics, critical thinking, and motivation, VG has cultivated the extension of his commitment among his students, his friends, his family, and colleagues. We will miss him immensely, but we move forward, having shared our lives and experience, growing in knowing him and knowing we as VG would encourage, stay optimistic. Thank you, VG.
My next speech. He hasn't been around the world as much as we have, but he's been around the world enough, and he adored VG. He refers to VG as Pinky Uncle, and that's my son. He'd like to say a few words.
So every time Uncle Pinky came at my house, he always gave me Kit Kat. And every time I went at his house, he gave me a love. And that's all I wanted to say.
I want to reserve this time for anyone else who'd like to say something about VG. So who would like to come up and say a few words? David.
There's no way to follow up. It was beautiful. Yeah, it's been a while, but I think what he brought me most is to be in touch with our own humanity, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone laugh like him. He had a sense of humor that was right on par with these guys. I can see why they all had such a connection. He would have these belly laughs when we would sit back that led to tears and rolling over and spitting out our drinks, and his childish ways were beyond. I know this is a little off key, but I just remember him probably losing years of his life and laughing, going to India, carrying around a remote control fart machine, and hiding it under the Rishi's chair and startling him. What was that? And everyone's pointing fingers, blaming and ashamed and all this, and just running around like a child. And that's what humanity is all about. We gotta get back to who we are. This is a person that could mingle with the most sophisticated, intelligent men of our communities. He could put an arm around, someone that was down and out. And yeah, we'll miss him.
Thank you, David. David went to India with myself. David and I went to India with VG, and it was fun. I'll cherish those moments. Sandy has been a childhood friend of VG's from India. They went to college together. They got their PhD together. So Sandy, if you'd like to say a few words.
Namaste. Thank you everyone for coming to celebrate my friend's life. Although he's not in the middle of us, but seeing you guys remembering him with such fondness, it seems he's here, right in the middle of us. I know him since we were in grade school. We grew up together, did our high school, did our bachelor's, did our master's, PhD, everything together, and then he moved to Cape Town. That's when we stayed away from him. I remember my daughter was about 5 months old when he got the job offer from Cape Cod Community College. And here I drove the U-Haul all the way from Ames, Iowa, over 3 days, 3.5 days to Cape Cod, and stayed here about a week, moved him into an apartment from a hotel, and then I left by bus, 3 days journey back. The only other time since he moved here and I was still in Iowa, then I moved to Phoenix, the only other time we were away for such a long time from each other was when he came to the US. He came here in 85, August 15th. And I came here on 2 years, almost 2 years later, May 16th, 87. So during this time, I think you might have seen this picture lying up there. This is a picture I took of him when a lot of my friends, some of those are still watching us on the Zoom. We all went to Manali, that's a Himalayan resort town. The reason I remember it is I sent it to him from India. And I remember I wrote something in the back. When I read it again, it's still relevant. I said, I want to see you like this, always. Smiling, loving. I feel happy here when you are smiling there. Keep me happy. That's exactly what I'll say to him. Keep smiling wherever you are. Keep all of us happy. Yes.
Thank you, Sandy. Sanjeev. Sanjeev, that means brother in India. Sanjeev's now my brother, and he was a very close friend of VG as well. And for those of you that don't know, I stayed and I lived with VG for many years. When I was at the Cape Cod Community College, he helped me out. As I said, I was in a time of darkness. And he also helped Sanjeev out. Sanjeev got to live here, and VG helped him get through the college. And Sanjeev would like to say a few words.
Thank you, everyone. Namaste. I came from Nepal, and when I came to Nepal, I barely speak English. I met busy at Port Seeds, and I was taking a ESL class, and Enaj, who is Adam's wife, she was in my class too. And I talked to Busy. I said, I want to get my education, but here is my problem. He told me he understood international student, what kind of problem they have. And he set my path. He said, Sanjay bhai, if you want to become engineer, here is a path you have to follow. I joined the economics club, and through the economics club, I got my internship. That was my first engineering job. And I transferred to UMass Dartmouth. I achieved my degree. And I said, in the middle, like, I said, sorry, I always had telling him Sarji, and he always told me, Sanjay bhai. When I told, like, here's my problem. I am working in a grocery store, making enough money to pay my car, not enough money for food. And he told me, I can stay with him. He did not charge me any money for it. And I was helping him for just here and there. Last time I met him, that was in April, he was suffering from cancer. And it was funny in my eye. He asked me, Sanjay bhai, if you have any question, ask me. I said, just suggest me what you have. He said, never give up. That's the best thing I have learned from that lion. Never give up. It does not matter what kind of problem we have, don't give up. That problem go away and you will win. That's how I will learn. And that's I have to tell Daisy, Namaste, and he is my guru, spiritual guru, and I never forget him.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Come on, Tony. Tony Sanders has been a friend of ours for 20 years. And I met her through VG's meditation. VG hosted meditation in his basement. And Sandy was one of VG's meditation students.
Hi, everyone. I was in one of BG's classes. It was macroeconomics. And in this particular class, he kept telling us about all the horrible things that were going on in the world. And I'm the type of person that has to help everybody and everything. So as he was explaining all of the things that were going on, I'm sitting there going, well, maybe I can do a little of this to help. Maybe I can do a little of that to help. But I got overwhelmed. And I said, BG, you're overwhelming me with all of the things that need to be done in this world. And he looked at me and he said, Tony, I want you to think about one thing that you want to change in the world, and then go do it. He said, don't look at everything. Look at the one thing that you can do. I'm an educational consultant for children with special needs. I was that when I was in his class, and I'm that now. And I realized when he said that I was doing what I'm here, what I was brought here to do. And he will be sorely missed, but I will always remember his words. That's it.
Thank you, Tony. I have time for 2 more speeches. Cam, I think it'd be appropriate for you to come up and speak. Cam was one of VG's students, and Cam, VG spoke about you a lot.
So the first time I met VG was obviously economic class, similar to everyone else. I had a couple of classes early in the morning, and then didn't have his until much later in the day. And so I recall going to him, and I was ready to leave his class, maybe find an earlier one or join in another semester. And so started talking, and it sounds like similar to most other people here. You're in school, you were in his economics club, and so he started talking to me about that, and we ended up going back and forth for a little while and walked out of the room, and I just thought, how did I come in trying to leave this class and then end up with not only this class, but also joining his economics club and helping out on it as much as I possibly could. And he just had this fantastic way to know exactly how far he could push someone to success and go right up to their brink. And he did that countless times with me. Every time that I thought I couldn't go any further, he just would push me a little bit more. And you know, I really attribute him to where I am today, and he will be very much missed.
I have one last person I'd like to speak. And this person is Paresh at the side. When I was running for political office, I wanted to join as many organizations as I possibly could. And one of the things that VG and I did is we joined a bunch of organizations, and through that time, VG had also befriended Paresh Patel, and we started an organization. I think at the time it was called the South Asian Organization of New England, and we got the Indian community together at the community college to celebrate Diwali and all of the Indian festivals and so on. And Paresh was a driving force to all of that. Please let it's okay, let it happen. So he was a driving force behind all that, and we got 200 plus people into this organization. Paresh knows VG. Paresh met VG at the nursing home when he was there, and I'd like to have him say a few words.
Namaste, good evening, everyone. Like to say thanks to Adam, Sanjay Bhai. None of this would possible without their help. I got a call from Adam about a couple of months ago, month and a half. I haven't talked to VG whole last year because of the COVID. He always liked to keep himself quiet sometime. Adam called me and gave me a news that our friend suffering with the cancer. Very hurting, heartbroken news. Till that day, till today, I just cannot get over it. Just thinking this cannot be happening. It's like, there's no way this is happening. VG had many, many years with us, a lot of community work, what he liked to do. I never called him Virender Gautam, rarely VG, but mostly I called him Sergi. Try to go see him at the nursing home. I made a couple of attempts, but as everybody's saying, he was a lion. He was fighting. Adam was helping him, taking him to the Cape Cod Hospital, Brighams at the Boston. I missed a couple of times. One day I decided to go and wait. The staff at the nursing home was really nice. I went there around 2:30. I was supposed to see him at 3, talk to Adam. We are at the Cape Cod Hospital. We're gonna be a little late, 3 o'clock, 3:30. I said, I'm not moving until I see him. At 4 o'clock, I said, I think they're gonna keep him over there or he's really going through some treatment. I decided to move. I said, last 2 minutes, I'm gonna wait. And guess what? The car, Adam's mother-in-law drove him from the Cape Cod Hospital. He wear a mask. I knew that was him. He lost some weight. I was far out. I come close to the car. He opened the door. And first thing he says, Namaste, Paraswai. Adam told me he's suffering with cancer and there is no way anyone could believe looking at him or talking to him that he's not here today. He was fighting. Unbelievable. I never not see him not smiling. Never ever in my life. He always asked me, because I'm in retail business, 15 hours a day, all day long, every day. He knows I like to do business. He asked me so many times, why don't you join the Rotary Club? You know, help the student out. I said, the day I have some time, I definitely will try to do that. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he brought our community together. You know, Indian communities probably settled on the Cape, late 80s, early 90s. People were spread around different places. With CK, Adam, Sergi's help, the whole community got together. Since that day, we always got together like half a dozen times a year. Everything he'd done, it's just amazing. He liked to drink wine. And I love to drink. Sometime I call him, he calls me if he has a downtime. Parashbhai, come to my house, we'll have a couple to drink. Always help out. One thing I liked about him, he always treated every single person the way they wanted to treat it. He understood the people and treat them differently, treat them encourage, give them different encourage, you know, like how they want to live their life. Every time he talked to me, I never talked to him about the college. Very rarely we talked about the college. I never talked to him about my business. It was strictly friendship. Come hang out with him, learn from him. I don't know what else to say. Look at that smiley face. Thank you. God bless him. We miss you, Vijay.
Thank you, guys. So there's a lot of food here. And one thing, if you knew VG, he would be very upset if he didn't take a bunch of food home. So in the action of me getting all the food that we have here today, I also made an effort to get as many to-go containers as possible. Everyone, take food home with you. And as you eat it, smile and think of VG, because I know that's what he would have wanted you to do. But in closing, I also want everyone to know what his words were that he said to me, which was be kind to everybody. As easy as that sounds, it's most difficult to do sometimes. When someone treats you bad, be kind to them. And you might be shocked at the result because it's easier to be angry. And what VG always told me is when you're angry, you take all the goodness that's in your heart and you take that space away and you fill it with anger and it spreads into your body and ruins your day. You don't want to hold on to anger. It's a very bad thing to hold on to. And each and every one of us has the ability to decide our outcome of the day by just saying, this is how we want the day to be. He had a lot of things that he said to me. When I was campaigning for a selectman, I was 20 years old. We'd go door to door. And I remember my feet hurt. And he said, that's great. And I said, why is it great that my feet hurt? He goes, because that means that something's happening. And I said, yeah, my feet hurt. He goes, something's happening. And that's just his positive attitude. So that day, he went to Toys R Us and he bought 2 Razor scooters. So we went door to door in scooters. And I didn't think I was going to win, and I won. And my nickname to the 2 people that I beat on the board and when I got elected was Scooter. So my first year, they called me Scooter. And that was all because my feet hurt and VG said, that's awesome. And this is what we're gonna do. He also said to me something, I forget, we were walking up the driveway, I still even remember the driveway. I said, VG, do you think I'm gonna win? He said, who cares? And I said, VG, we hit like 7,000 homes. Don't you care? He says, don't care about the outcome. The outcome is not in your hand. What's in your hand is the ability to knock on this door, ask them for your vote, and just enjoy the process. Too many people worry about the outcome of what they're doing, and they forget to enjoy the fruits of the process. And he said, whether that's doing algebra or doing statistics, and for me, I did not like math in college. VG was a statistics professor as well. And he always said, don't worry about the test. Let's have fun studying. And like Perry said, we would have a glass of wine and have Chianti Classico Ruffino. And we would sit right in that room right there. And he would study statistics with me every single night. And I did not do well in math. And I aced statistics that semester because he wanted me to. So don't worry about the result. Worry about the fruits of the effort to get you to that result, because that's what's most important. The outcome is not in your hands, it's in God's hands. But the result and how you get there is in your hands. So please, everyone, remember that. Be nice. Don't be angry at anyone. Say a compliment to somebody. Compliments are a great thing. And if someone treats you bad, treat them nice and watch what the outcome is. In closing, Adam would like to say one last thing. Adam, can you come up here?
I'm gonna share about a text message Uncle Pinky sent me before he died. AJ, hi AJ, it's Uncle Pinky. AJ, I love you so much. I'm sorry I couldn't say goodbye to you. I'm gonna go be with you. Quickly, and I saw, and we're gonna have lots of fun. I want you to take care of Austin and teach him lots of things. AJ, can you keep eye on my Ladu, please? He love you very much. I'm gonna be with you all the time. May all the time be a good son for your mom and dad, and good brother to your Austin. I love you always and forever. That's all.
Thank you. At this time, I'm going to have CK take it from here. Viju wanted us to do some mantra music and say some chants in his name. So CK. Thank you, everybody. Please. More say, enjoy everyone's presence, and let's not forget VG, Dr. Virender, Gautam. Thank you. Excuse me, one more thing that I forgot. If you haven't done so, in the Dr. Virender, feel compelled to, please don't from the not that but basketball now.
Gautam. सुधीर चौधरी लेफ्ट आके ना बंद करो
छोटू जी
Thank you, everyone.
Hello.
Chotu.
Hanji Mama. Yes, I can.
Thank you, Vita. I'm turning it off. I hope
Okay.
we get the recording, so I'll share the recording with everyone.
Okay, yes, Mama.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mama.
It was a beautiful ceremony. So thank you everyone for joining. Okay. Thank you. Bye everyone.
Is it possible if I could say some words?
Sure. I think we can still open up the mic here.
Yep.
It's tough to bring in.
Is the mic open?
Oops, sorry about it.
While you are enjoying yourself the last few minutes, BJ's nephew would like to say a few words from Australia. This Jay Kashyap. Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jay. I'm Viji's nephew. Well, thank you. I'd like to thank Sandy, my mama, Sudhir mama, Adam and Sanjeev for bringing the beautiful memories back. I would just like to say that we take inspiration today and strength from the fight Viji had put up with the facing cancer. We're going to really we're really going to miss him. I will really miss our FaceTime calls and messages. I loved hearing all about his green grass, his home renovations he used to do, which he used to love it, and the love for his dogs. I take comfort in knowing today that he is with his mom, his sister, and his father, Rishiji, as you all know, and really blessed to have him look over us today and every day. Thank you, everybody, for coming today, and thank you.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Beta. Love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
हो गया। आप अपना तो क्या थोड़ा जोड़ेंगे मारो, मतलब जूम खोल रहे हो आप बार बार क्यों खोल रहे हो? चीजें देखोगे कहाँ से ये क्या है? दिखाते एक बार मेरे को भी। वॉल्यूम कम करता हूँ। बस अब देखो आ रही है, आ रही है मेरी आवाज, मेरी बंद कर हो गया। ये वीडियो वाले और खांसी मेरी आवाज स्टार्ट हुई। लेकिन ये चल रही है रिकॉर्ड मेरी शेयर वाला क्यों दबा रखा है? ये ओके होल्ड पे डन क्यों नहीं है मैंने डन पे कहाँ लो लीव मीटिंग को दबाओ ना गया। फोटो में क्या कर रहा था? भला बनने को नहीं आवाज कैमरे के साइड में खड़ा था, यूं खड़ा था कि ये दिखाना है परिवार वालों को, यूं करना और बेवकूफों का सीन होगा क्या? मैं कहा कल की बात होती है तो आपने मैसेज डाला खड़ा है सुधीर से बात कर देंगे आपने नहीं? वो राकेश जी क्या कह रहे थे? सुधीर ने पूछा क्या उससे? नहीं आपने फोन तो बता दो लगे तो